Why interest rates rule the world. Let's start with a quick story. In 1979, the US Federal Reserve Chair Paul Volcker raised interest rates to nearly 20% to fight runaway inflation. Overnight, mortgages doubled, businesses collapsed, and entire industries shrank. People hated him, but his bold move eventually crushed inflation and reshaped the global economy. That's the power of interest rates. Today, I want to show you why these tiny percentages secretly rule almost every part of our lives, from the price of your morning coffee to the stability of entire nations. Interest rates are the invisible strings pulling the world economy. Imagine this: the central bank announces an interest rate hike of just 0.25%. That looks tiny, right? But the small adjustment can ripple everywhere. Your latte gets pricier because cafe owners face higher costs. Your rent increases because landlords' mortgages become more expensive. And currencies shift. A weaker local currency means imports suddenly cost more. A 0.25% isn't small. It's a domino that knocks over everything. What are interest rates? Okay, so what are interest rates really? Think of them as the price of money. If interest rates are low, money is cheap. People borrow more, businesses invest more, and the economy speeds up. If interest rates are high, money is expensive. People borrow less, businesses slow down, and inflation comes under control. They're basically the thermostat of the economy. Too hot, raise rates to cool things down. Too cold, lower them to heat things back up. Students. Higher rates mean student loans and credit cards become more expensive. That €200 you borrowed suddenly costs €240. Housing. When landlords face higher mortgages, they often push those costs onto tenants through higher rent. Shopping. Businesses that borrow to fund operations raise prices when borrowing costs go up. Savings. Higher rates can reward savers with better returns, but often hurt stock markets. So yes, the reason your brunch is €20 instead of €15 may be traced back to interest rates. Zooming out, interest rates don't just affect your wallet, they move the entire world. Governments, when rates rise, their debt payments skyrocket. That means less money for schools, hospitals, or infrastructure. Currencies, when the US raise rates, the dollar gets stronger. Suddenly, countries like Turkey or Argentina pay more for imports like oil or wheat. Politics. Politicians often win or lose elections depending on how painful interest rates feel for voters. So, one small change in Washington or Frankfurt can trigger inflation in Africa, protests in Europe, or recessions in Asia. That's how interconnected this system really is. This is the central drama of interest rates. If rates stay too low, inflation eats away at everyone's savings and daily costs spiral. If rates climb too high, businesses collapse, unemployment rises, and growth stalls. Central bankers, whether in the Fed, the ECB, or the Bank of England, are forced into the role of the unpopular referee. They often have to raise rates exactly when nobody wants them to, just to keep the system from overheating. Why it matters to you? So, why should you care? Because interest rates quietly shape everything. Your paycheck, companies hire or fire depending on borrowing costs. Your rent, landlords adjust prices based on mortgage rates. Your groceries, food prices rise when currencies weaken. Even your country's global power, strong economies survive, weak ones stumble. If you understand interest rates, you don't just understand finance, you understand who holds power in the world. To wrap up, interest rates aren't boring numbers buried in economic reports. They're the thermostat of our economy, the driver of global politics, and the hidden influence on your daily life. So the next time you see a headline about a 0.25% change, don't scroll past it. Remember, that's not just a number, that's the world shifting beneath your feet. Because in money, in politics, and in power, interest rates rule the world. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share with your besties who need to hear this. This is the Pink Portfolio, Finance with Finesse, where we turn money talk into your new favorite accessory. Catch you in the next one. Bye.